Well, good afternoon, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman here. I will put on all of our cams. There's one. We also got Ryan. And we got Caleb in here today. We've got a full crew. Let me know if you guys can hear me. And we'll get started with a tornado warning in effect here in Huron County, kind of out of the blue. This tornado warning is in effect till 5 p.m. Southeast Michigan. At 4:21, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles southwest of Harbor Beach, moving east at 15 miles per hour. Tornado and quarter-size hail are the possible hazards. Radar indicated rotation. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of southern Huron County, including the following locations: Ruth, White Rock, Parisville, and Helena. Again, tornado warning in effect. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows if you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle. Move to the closest substantial shelter and protect your head. Again, tornado and 1-inch hail are possible with this storm. I do not have a good read on this. Do you guys have?
I don't either. I do have the Cassett radar if you want to.
There, I just unmuted you. Go ahead.
Sorry. So I do have the Cassett radar from Canada if you want to take my. But there's really. Has some broad rotation for the past couple of scans, nothing tight that we see. But the caveat with this location, the thumb, because we have radar beams all around it, but not close to it. So we're looking probably close 8,000 feet up in the atmosphere. Either radar, so we don't really have a good. Do have a harbor camera here, but it's facing to the. Only see the side. You know, it doesn't really see much of anything.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes.
I'm gonna reset Discord here real quick because it's doing the thing where it's cutting your voice out.
Okay.
All right, we should be good.
All right.
If not,
Chandler's here too now.
Chandler's in the background.
Hello. My camera is on as well.
We don't have enough slots.
So, everybody vote right now who you want to see on stream. And if somebody loses, I go in their spot. I wasn't really expecting the whole gang to be here. I was like, oh, I thought Ryan was still rolling by himself. So I was like, oh, I'll pop in there and help Ryan out for a little bit. And then I log in and Joel's here, Caleb's here, everybody's here. I guess I'll just go back to what I was doing, I guess.
Yeah, we got it, man. We got it.
Well,
latest scan does tighten rotation up just offshore of Huron, east of Helena.
Ryan, your mic's still doing the thing again.
Okay. Try that.
Everyone but Chandler. Definitely no Chandler. Wow. I'm just getting flamed. Sheesh.
So it appears the center of that rotation right now is all up and down. Oh, let's see. That's probably M25 right there, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's pretty much on M25 right now, just south of Helena Road and north of Premier Road. It might be riding very close to Purdy Road when it crosses M25 here and goes on to Lake Huron. This tornado warning was issued moments ago. It's in effect for 33 minutes, although I would highly doubt it's going to last all 33 minutes because the storm is pretty much going to be on Lake Huron pretty quickly. So that's at least good news.
Something to note, though, Ryan, it is back building a little bit, too. There's additional thunderstorms building on the east side of this storm, which could cause some heavy rainfall and maybe a flood concern going forward as well.
That's also true. Any storm today may have potential for flooding just because they're slow moving, but also a lot of moisture out there. We already had quite a bit of rainfall this morning across mainly 96, 94, 96 corridors. I know here at my house, I already had like 1.25 inches of rain. just from this morning. So there is some potential out there for some flooding risks as well.
Latest scan in terms of rotation for this tornado warned storm, it appears it's trying to shift south towards Forestville a little bit. It's kind of doing a little bit of a southerly handoff. So directly right now over at Water Road from the Detroit radar, at least at Water Road at Shock Road. So it's heading.
Yeah, another good. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. I was just mentioning that it's heading kind of close to. It might cross into extreme northern Sanilac County here very soon.
It looks like the latest scan there off DTX does kind of shift that south. Now, the bad thing about the CASIT radar in Canada is it updates every 8 minutes. So that's the downside to using Canadian radars. Detroit radar is 3 minutes newer, so we can kind of get a better idea of what the storm is doing. Looks like it's trying to cycle to the south there toward White Rock. Outside of this one storm, we can take a zoomed out look here, and we can take a peek across the entirety of the state. We do have a marginal risk for severe weather across the south and east part of the state, roughly about this area here. None of these storms are currently severe, minus the one that's currently warned for tornadoes up there in Huron County. We do have other storms that are pushing slowly to the east around Lansing, down toward Marshall, Battle Creek as well as back here by Grand Rapids County, Ionia area. Most of these are just garden variety storms, not much to ramble about at this point in time. Wind velocity seems pretty subdued on all these. So just the one warning right now up there by the Forestville Harbor Beach area, very far southeast corner of Huron County.
I don't know if you guys saw this behind the scenes, but there are photos being shared now of what appears to be a tornado in the M142 corridor from a colleague that at least looked like a condensed funnel, at least 3/4 of the way to the ground as of a little while ago. So that's probably what ended up triggering this warning in the first place. Again, it's really far away from radar, so it's tough to tell what's happening below, really anything below 6,500 feet out there. And again, these storms are fairly low base today, and everything that is going to be low base underneath that 6,200 feet limit here in Huron County will likely be underneath the radar.
Posted on that real quick.
Yep, go for it. So this isn't technically a confirmed tornado warning, but it looks like this storm has had a history of producing at least funnel clouds in the Harbor Beach area, just to the east side of Harbor Beach on M142 at one point. Again, we're seeing pictures behind the scenes of funnels that are at least 3/4 of the way to the ground. Not sure if they're touched down or not. Again, we'll have to see what the National Weather Service goes out and surveys tomorrow if they do. But at the current time, again, tornado warnings in effect, radar indicated. Either way, if you are in any sort of tornado warning, you should be taking shelter on that lowest floor of the building, away from windows and exterior walls. If you do not have any exterior rooms or any interior rooms in your house, mind you, a bathroom with a bathtub is going to be your best bet. The porcelain in your bathtub technically counts as a wall in quotation marks, and you can also put a mattress over yourself as well to kind of give you that full enclosure. So just some advice if you are in that tornado warning right now. And again, this rotation is shifting ever so close to the Forestville area, and would not be surprised if we see another tornado warning perhaps get extended down into extreme northern Sanilac County.
Yeah, looking at the products that we have here, it's very tough to tell. The rotation, again, with the beam height being so high up, we can't really get a good look at what's happening below a few thousand feet. So I don't see anything debris-wise here worth noting. I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to the CASIT radar in Canada. Take a peek at this as well and see if we have anything new. But looks like the main area of rotation, still on the Canadian radar, is up here still near M25. So what's the radar beam height off this location? I guess that doesn't work in Omega, but I have to imagine the CASIT radar has a better look at this than Detroit radar. I could be wrong, though.
Most likely. If you also are living in this area and it's safe to do so, and have pictures of perhaps a funnel cloud, any hail as well that could be falling at this location, because this is also issued for 1-inch hail, feel free to send in those damage reports to us on Messenger or in our Facebook group chat, our community page, Michigan Weather Reports. That would be appreciated. You can also send them to our Discord server channel called It's Damage and Survey at the link discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. So tornado warning for those who are just tuning in right now. Up there in the thumb, as you can see on Ryan's radar, that is in the extreme southeast corner of Huron County, moving kind of close now to northern Sanilac County, in the Forestville area, and I believe there's another tiny town right where that rotation is. I forgot the name of it. White Rock.
Yeah, White Rock is just to the south of this rotation via the Cassett radar. But if you take Detroit's radar here, a bit of a, I think it's a higher up view at least. We're seeing rotation a little bit further south than White Rock currently. So if you're in a polygon here, White Rock to Ruth to Helena, up to about the Harbor Beach area, it's worth being inside, away from windows, in your basement if possible. Special marine warning also issued for the waters of Huron. Water spouts and wind gusts to nearly 50 knots, as well as small hail. So they're going with almost damaging winds, small hail, as well as a water spout possible for the waters offshore from Harbor Beach down to Forestville. Caleb's going to pop off. He's going to tend to behind the scenes stuff. So Joel and I got you the rest of the way here. We're live 4:34 p.m. Eastern time. We have a little bit of a surprise warning here for a tornado. If you caught the briefing this morning that I did, I always said that there's really no spin out there, but we can never rule these out in Michigan because we have lake breeze boundaries. We have things that can enhance our wind shear. This is the case once again today, more than likely. So the good news, though, is it's not going to be a widespread threat for tornadoes today. It should be pretty localized here. And Huron County is a place where we have lake breeze boundaries all the time. So we have this sort of funky thing happen, especially near Port Austin. It seems like, Joel, the past couple of years, Port Austin's been a hot spot for tornadoes. But up there in Huron County, especially along the thumb region near Huron, it seems to be a pretty hot spot for these surprise rotational indications. Tongue twister. Got some pictures coming into chat here.
That's now then.
Okay, so we have confirmation from one of our viewers here. There is still a funnel cloud as we speak. Looks like, let's go ahead and zoom in here and find this road. 142. Actually, this is north of the current storm.
It's probably looking south into it.
So likely up here by the Helena area, I have to assume between Ruth, Helena, and White Rock, somewhere up here is where the rotation currently is. So confirmation still from our viewer that there is still a funnel cloud. I'm gonna have to assume, Joel, it's gonna be right here. That's where the rotation is really picked up here off the Cassett radar in Canada. So they're up here driving on 142 here, looking like more than likely to the south toward this area of interest. So funnel cloud continues. It should be pretty much on the Huron any minute. But just north of White Rock here on M25, that general area, crossroad is going to be the M25 Lakeshore Road as well as Purdy Road. That's going to be the general intersection here that we are interested in looking here. And I really wish we could tilt the Harbor Beach camera around because we may have a view of this, but unfortunately that camera is stationary. But looks like actually I'm on the Harbor Beach cam right now, and the fire department actually looks like they're pulling up or pulling out from the location. It looks like they're spotting. So they're out there as well, which is good. So we have reports of damage coming in now near the Reese area, which I believe is a different storm from earlier. Okay, so likely earlier we had a good wind signature earlier on a storm that passed through. Looks like we have damage reports coming in now near Reese. So Joel, if you could take over for a second, I'm gonna get some stuff pulled up here. You might be muted, I believe.
Darn it. I was muted because I wanted to, not have an echo. Anyways, going down the line, we have 2 statements in effect here. We have one for Flint at Genesee County, that it would be for 40-mile-per-hour winds, half-inch hail. We also have a special weather statement for Ingham County and 0.25-inch hail. And again, neither of those are severe. Our main focal point right now is going to be Huron County, as there's a tornado warning in effect. And to go back to what you said, Ryan, a little bit on what you said, the Huron County region, again, with the lakes all in the lake kind of surrounding the peninsula here, there's a lot of surface vorticity that is always kind of just existing in this region. And combine that with our low-level instability out there today, which is similar to what we had 2 days ago in the UP, or was it yesterday? I can't remember. The days all mixing together. But we had 200 joules of 3 Cape, the lowest 3 kilometers of Cape, the other day, and we're having that today as well. So kind of the same thing. We have these semi-discrete supercells ongoing. The tornado warning has been trimmed, by the way, for a couple roads here off to the west. You can see the red box is now trimmed back. Harbor Beach, you guys are not in that tornado warning. The storm is well to your south, but Ruth and White Rock, I believe it was, is still in this tornado warning. And again, this is heading ever so close to Forestville at the current time. Rotation is still, it's weak, but it's there. Again, it's tough to tell with being so far away from the storm. But again, seek shelter into your room, lowest floor, if not a basement, if you are in the path of the storm.
We'll say, Joel, the rotation on the Cassett radar is now moved on to Lake Huron. If you want to take my radar just for visual reference, I have it pulled up. It looks like it's off Huron, just to the north, a little bit east of White Rock. So this was the area of interest that we were looking at the past couple of scans. Track that backwards, we're going to see that kind of trend, and that moved off onto Huron now. So looks like at least the area of main interest is now on water. Of course, it's hard to say for sure because the beam height again is thousands of feet in the atmosphere, so it could be looking a tilted updraft could have rotation up a little bit offshore. So White Rock still, I'd be in your safe place. Helena, I'd be in your safe place. Back toward Ruth, I'd still be in your safe place until the storm is completely moved over onto Lake Huron.
Ryan, I'm going to take my radar real quick. We also have another concerning storm that has just popped up in the Gaylord region. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this because this one is rotating very, very much. Elkhona County special weather statement just issued here, 40-mile-per-hour winds. And you can see on radar there is a little bit of a notch that is going on here. Reds and greens very, very close to each other. When that happens, again, that is winds inbound and outbound versus inbound from the radar site. Very, very close proximity. And this is right over Stout Road at Mikado Glenny Road. So right there in southern Elkhona County. If you are there, you can see there's a nice kidney bean shape to it, kind of like a little bit of a backwards C. That's what we usually look for in these discrete supercells, with the rotation always being on the far left, or I guess you could say southwest edge of the storm, which sometimes kind of orient itself around. And you can see the latest scan, actually. Good sign there. Looks like it just kind of spun itself out. Tough to tell, though, there in that region if that is clear air or not. But for a moment on CC, it almost looks like there was perhaps, I don't want to say it, but there is some clutter going on there on CC. So special weather statement remains in effect, or just issued, I should say, for Elkhona County for 40-mile-per-hour winds in the northeast lower Michigan region.
Scan off Detroit's radar does move that rotation off onto Huron now, so I believe we're almost clear to really, I'm not going to say all clear just yet, but looks like the area of interest is at least offshore now. Taking a look across other areas, we have additional storms that are firing and have fired. Flint, Owasso down to Lansing, Marshall, Battle Creek down to Three Rivers. Even back here toward Ionia County as well, we do have some numerous showers and storms that are popped up. None of these at this point look strong to severe. Mostly just a lightning and a heavy rain threat currently. There is a potential that these storms may strengthen and become briefly severe, with damaging winds being the primary concern with this cell, with these storms. I want to take your radar back, feel free.
Okay.
I'm just kind of bouncing around all over the place right now.
Yep. This storm that is in Genesee County does appear to be gusting out fairly quickly into the Goodrich area. Again, not severe at the current time, but gusts up to 40 are possible with that special weather statement right now near Grand Blanc, probably already in Grand Blanc. So Goodrich heading towards Ortonville. Watch out for some gusty winds there, as long as some copious amounts of cloud-to-ground lightning. It is very, very loud out there today. Firsthand, I can tell you this afternoon when I was down in Detroit, that thunder and lightning was it was booming. It's the best word I can use. And it will continue today with how much instability we have out there. So again, we're here in the middle of summer. Our instability values are going to be a lot higher. And also, Ryan, we have colliding boundaries coming in here very soon, within probably the next 1 or 2 scans here across Byron and Linden here in the Flint region. And again, with these boundaries of colliding, we could see more storms pop up.
Also, the Owasso cell looks pretty gusty back to the west there, too, the latest scan.
Yep.
So with that outflow boundary, again, it provides sources of lift. We get 2 that come together. It can provide really extra lift, honestly. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that and see how that trends. It's just kind of monitor that. I'm going to go back on our Harbor Beach cam and just check to see if it saw anything around that 4:15 time frame, just out of curiosity. I don't think it would have, but I want to double check just to make sure we're not going to miss that.
Tornado warning still remains in effect till 5 p.m. Eastern, so got another 15 minutes on it. Rotation has kind of moved over into the waters of Lake Huron at the current time, but this is still tornado warning just in case. Again, we do have confirmed images of funnel clouds at the very least from this storm that likely prompted this tornado warning. And it's undetermined whether or not something has touched down, but again, we'll have probably some sort of survey come in by tomorrow just to kind of determine what actually fell or happened out there. But Ryan, those pictures that we saw, that funnel was at least 3/4 the way to the ground in some cases.
It was actually a pretty good looking funnel. I'm curious though. I mean, I assume because there's rotation on radar, but it almost had the look of like a cold air funnel to it. Also, I want to mention this as well. One of our viewers commented on one of our posts a funnel or a picture, or sorry, a video of a scud/funnel cloud. Hard to tell, but we sent that over to NWS and Gaylord. They just confirmed that as a funnel cloud earlier today near East Tawas in Iosco County.
Yep.
So that was confirmed now as well. So if you guys have any reports of damage, just in case it did happen to touch down up near the East Tawas and Tawas City area, please direct any damage reports our direction in that regard. And also, I'm not sure the name. It slips my mind at this current time, but thank you for, if you're watching this, whoever sent that video in to us in the comment section. Thank you for that. A photo of the funnel cloud is posted to the page. So thank you to Beth for dropping that in to our inbox. Appreciate you.
Our Facebook page is open for everyone to follow as long as you have a Facebook account. Facebook is Michigan Storm Chasers with the blue verification mark. Feel free to go check us out if you haven't yet. Also, shout out to Jenny Richards for becoming an EF0 member and Lord for $1.99 super chat. He's in Purdy and M25 right now. Thank you for that report. Appreciate you very much. One tornado warning in the state of Michigan right now. That is why we are alive. There's no other warnings in effect. There are a couple statements out there. Genesee, Ingham, portions of Eaton, and even Alcona County up there in northeast lower. Zooming out, you can see this entire complex this afternoon has really gotten itself together, kind of organized itself into one line here from anywhere from Lapeer all the way down through Lansing. Marshall, and even back towards Centerville and Cassopolis in southwest Michigan. Ryan, you are muted.
So I want to take a note here back down in the Ingham, Jackson, and Calhoun County area. We have numerous outages coming in near Eaton Rapids, Onondaga, down toward Devereaux. So pretty gusty, perhaps close to severe winds moving through with these storms. I had to assume it's wind related because they're more widespread, but we have about probably close to 1,500 people out of power in total near Plainfield, down toward Mason, Eaton Rapids, Onondaga, and also Devereaux, just north of Albion. I don't see winds with that storm. Actually, Joel, take a look at Marshall, south of Marshall via the Grand Rapids radar. It's pretty gusty there, perhaps a little bit of some rotation. Check out both IWX and Grand Rapids. Both have it.
There's a little bit of an and definitely an RFD surge on the backside of this. And Ryan, we also have a nudger coming in from behind.
Yep. I talked about this on the briefing this morning. If there's going to be anything rotational wise, it's going to be a lake breeze boundary or a storm merger. So we may have both taking shape here. We have a little bit of rotation just south of Marshall now, although it's not very strong. Probably won't do anything, but you never know with Michigan. So we're going to watch that very closely here. It's on both IWX and Grand Rapids radars. So the good news, though, is the warning up in Huron County. Latest trim back of that has dropped the hail size from quarter down to penny. So no longer severe hail expected with that. The rotation is completely off ashore onto water. So that's good news. That warning will likely be either expired or canceled here, I have to assume, in the next couple of minutes. Yeah, that needs to be watched very closely there down by Marshall.
Yeah, latest scan continues the rotation. Again, this rotation would be C Drive south near 18 Mile Road. It just is crossing over 17 Mile at the current time, which is actually, it's US 27 that runs north-south out of Marshall. You can see right on the center of the radar here, right where these reds and greens come close together. It's inbound versus outbound wind. The brighter the colors, the stronger the rotation will be. And of course, if they are closer, then the tighter the rotation they will be. So right now it's kind of broad and moderately strong. It definitely still looks gusty here. Directly north of Bancroft, as that special alert statement has just been issued for Shiawassee County. That's for 40-mile-per-hour winds. That is the only hazard I see here. In effect for... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I interrupted you.
In effect for Durand, Perry, Maurice, Bancroft, and Lennon. And it'll be around those locations around 4:55, and Byron around 5 o'clock for this gusty storm up here in southeast Shiawassee County.
I want to take note, Joel, the training of these storms in southern Huron County, be more so concerned for some flooding risks there, especially for areas. Get some town names out here. We have some training going on, very slow moving storms that are dumping probably torrential rainfall from Ubly down toward Minden, Forestville, up toward White Rock, Ruth, Helena, Pulowski, and Parisville, right along East Atwater Road. Likely going to have some ponding, if not some localized flooding of water there as the storm continues to train and backbuild and dumps prolific rainfall rates. Also got a cell moving onshore here. Did they do a warning here for water spouts by chance? They did not. I had some curiosity there. Looking at the rotation on that, and not really see much there. Perhaps a little bit, but not really too much to be concerned about there at this point. Going back down here to Marshall, we're going to watch that cell. Continues to watch that cell very closely, but that's really actually up here by Vernon too, Joel. I'm not sure if that's elevated or
I think it's just gusty out.
Yeah, it looks like it's gusting out there just a bit. To watch that too. That's also statemented for, I believe, 40-mile-per-hour winds. Yes. So if you want to take back over, I can cross-post those.
Yep. For those just tuning in, this tornado warning in effect for 7 more minutes, about 6 more minutes now, here in extreme southeast Huron County near Forestville and White Rock. The rotation has, I believe, moved off in the lake here. I don't have the Canada radar, but it looks like it's kind of still off the shore right now.
Yeah, it still is. I have it up if you want to take mine briefly.
Yeah. You can see the red box on your screen is that tornado warning. They continue to trim it back. It gets smaller and smaller. So Ruth's on the back edge of it now. Harbor Beach still outside of it, but White Rock is still in the tornado warning at the current time. Forestville, you are not, but be aware that the storm has had a history of producing multiple funnel clouds across the region, very close to the ground. We're going to keep an eye on the other cell, which is moving in to the Bayport region. This is in an area where there is heightened vorticity, surface vorticity out there, which is basically like extra spin due to the lake influence and other topographic features. So keep that in mind. We'll keep an eye on that one in western Huron County. Right now, the main tornado warning is in eastern. And gusty winds continue across Genesee County, as well as Ingham and perhaps even Eaton County. And we're also still watching this cell down here in Marshall, which does appear to be trying to rotate something up. And again, this would be heading off towards Homer and Albion in the minutes to come. We'll go ahead and switch over to the Grand Rapids radar real quick. See how that's kind of progressing here. It appears like it's still a little too broad. Yes, so for those who are just tuning in, funnel clouds confirmed in Huron County from this tornado warned storm as likely what produced this tornado warning along the 142 region, I believe it was, here near Harbor Beach, looking south. And those storms continue to be very, very tall and very, very potent at the current time. Echo tops on these storms are quite impressive as well out there today. A lot of cloud tops up over 40,000 feet. Very, very tall storms. The taller the storms, the more severe they will likely be. In fact, this storm in Shiawassee County is up of 42,000 feet, which is showing signs of a downdraft. There's the core. Right on Newberry Road, approaching Newburgh Road. This is crossing I-69 here in the next couple seconds.
Hey, Joel, I would not be shocked if the south part of Huron County gets severe warned. Nice hail core now to 20,000 feet on that cell just west of the current warning polygon. Very nice looking hail core on that. And also perhaps some broad rotation showing back up west of the current warning as well. So we'll keep a close eye on that.
It's doing a little bit of a backwards handoff, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah, right there. Right near Ruth.
Yeah, I still got the Harbor Beach cam pulled up here. It's a nice view, but no storms in sight.
It's behind it.
If it was pointing the other direction, I bet we would have saw that. Down here, do we have anybody out chasing currently? Do we know?
Can check. Don't believe so.
Yeah, just asked in chat there. I don't see anybody out there who's active that I know of.
Oh. So here's that zoomed out. Here's that zoomed out view again for those just tuning in. Special weather statement up there in Alcona County. Have 3 special weather statements in southeast central Michigan along I-69 from Genesee County, Shiawassee County, and even over in Ingham County, all for fairly gusty winds and also some small hail. And the tornado warning continues for about a minute and a half longer. Looks like they're going to just let it run out of time here at about 5 o'clock. Yeah, correlation coefficient does pick up on that hail core you were talking about there, Ryan, just north of Minden City. A little bit of oranges and yellows and even some greens mixing in there. Again, this is the correlation coefficient radar. For those who don't know, the pinks on here surrounding it is all uniform objects, so raindrops and snow droplets. When you have hail, obviously hail is a little bit more spikier, so it's going to show up as non-uniform, which the cooler the color, the more ununiform the object is floating around in the atmosphere.
We have a ginormous updraft moving over our newest camera. I'm going to share my screen here, Joel, if you want to take this momentarily. Give me 1 second to bring it up. But it is a ginormous tower, as we call them. Sharing. This is our newest camera that is at the Mirestone Ranch in Chelsea. This is facing to the south. And as you can see, there are storms moving in to the west or to the right of the camera, and also to the north behind the camera. And that is a beautiful updraft. So we'll keep an eye on this. Cycling through these cameras here, we do have Dearborn, we have Harbor Beach. Been watching this one religiously the past about an hour or so. I got the Old Stone Porch in Ionia. We got Storm Guard camera in Lake Orion. We got the Manistee cameras up the Hampton Inn, the north and the west facing ones. We got the Burton camera at the Guardian HQ. And we got the Charlotte Fire Department there in Charlotte. Nice towers going up there in the distance. And then back at the Mirestone Ranch there in Chelsea. So keeping a close eye on these cameras today. Perhaps some Amatis up there too, or some cool structure. That's either way. Keep a close eye on that, and we will get back to you if this is looking interesting.
Tornado warning has expired officially. We've hit the 5 o'clock hour. So no more warnings in effect at the current time. Good news there, but there are still some gusty pockets of wind all across and up and down this line right now. You have pocket 1. You can kind of pick it out here on velocity where the brighter greens are at. You have pocket 1, northern Oakland County, heading into Ortonville right now. Just moved through Goodrich. You also have some gusty winds moving through Bancroft. Just crossed over I-69 there. Also have pocket number 3 down here in the Marshall region, which I believe is going to be better viewed from Calhoun County. Let's go ahead and view it here. Yeah, somewhere in here. It is still trying to rotate up something here, Ryan, in multiple spots as well. So still going to keep an eye on it. It's very, very interesting looking. Definitely a wide region of an RFD on the backside of this storm. We also have a special weather statement coming in for St. Joseph and Branch.
That's what I thought, but I don't get the box yet.
Colin Menden, 40-mile-per-hour winds, pea-sized hail.
Yep, I just got it. Leonidas, as well as Fairfax, Sherwood, and Union City, also involved in that statement.
See a couple of you guys mentioning some damage in chat here. Feel free to message us with time and location it occurred if you do have damage. Otherwise, send it into our damage report group chat, or sorry, community page. I keep saying group chat. Community page. It is Michigan Weather Reports on Facebook if you don't want to send it in via Messenger. Additionally, you can also send it over to the National Weather Service offices as well. You can tag them in a post as long as your account is public. Durand continues to impress. Let's go ahead and check on our cell up here in Alcona County real quick. Yeah, still some gusty winds mixing in there. It looks like boundary madness is going on up here in Alcona County. There's a couple of them shooting off into Oscoda County right now. Every single one of these storms is putting out its own outflow boundary as well. So it's just continuing to form more storms on that area of lift. And our storm that had previously some rotation on it has now kind of dwindled a little bit, which is also this one that has the statement on it. More cells, again, firing off behind it. And we'll likely maybe need a statement soon. We'll see. But it does look like it's getting a little gusty again here in Alcona.
Yeah, gusty winds continue through now moving into northern Oakland County, as well as the southeastern part of Shiawassee County. It looks like 40 or so mile per hour winds up there. And then as well, looking at that Marshall cell still, which is trying to rotate, but again, with minimal shear and spin out there, it's going to be hard for these cells to spin something up, but not impossible.
I'd have to imagine maybe a statement coming soon for Oakland County. Just my 2 cents here with those gusty winds now basically bearing down on Ortonville. Couple pixels of 38, 40 miles per hour.
I was going to say that'd be a good call on your end, but that's actually for Huron and looks like Sanilac County up there. New statement coming in.
Yep. Your radar will have it before mine.
Statement's going to be for 50 mile per hour winds and half-inch hail.
Oh, it's a big statement.
I don't have it on mine yet. I guess you're looking at it. So, yeah, probably. I'm going to probably guess it's maybe like this.
Look how big it is. It's pretty much the entire county. It's for
Most
multiple.
the entire county of Huron.
It's for multiple storms. It says strong thunderstorms across southern Huron County, moving east at 15 miles per hour. Wind gusts up to 50 and half-inch hail in both storms. So this entire kind of complex here, we have complex 1, complex 2, one near Bayport, and one in Ruth, heading towards and into Forestville. And the statement does include portions of northern Tuscola County or Sanilac County. And again, it does look like there's still a little bit of rotation on both of these cells. Very broad at the current time, but keep an eye, if you are out here in the thumb, keep an eye out for those funnel clouds out there just in case they do pop up again with how much surface vorticity is kind of out there in the region. Ryan, are you hearing those notifications come through on the bottom bar? No. How about I'll ask chat. Chat, are you hearing when those statements come in? Are you guys hearing the sound? Because I have it pulled up on the side here so you guys can hear it, and it has been coming through. We need to see us a "we got cows" situation, fellas. I don't know about that.
Yeah, let's not and say we did.
Yeah. Would rather not. The funnel clouds were close enough already as it was. Perfect. Looks like everyone's hearing them. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Likely, again, have another statement at least come in sometime soon. Probably going to be, like I said, Oakland County or maybe even Calhoun County. There's that box on that new statement for St. Joseph and Branch. As a reminder, this is in effect for 40 mile per hour winds and pea-sized hail. Moving up the line. Again, nothing in effect for Calhoun County despite how potent that storm does look right now. Gusty winds moving through Shiawassee County. Special weather statement in effect here for winds of 40 miles per hour, no hail. as quickly moving into southern Genesee here in the next couple minutes. Speaking of Genesee, special weather statement here for 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. And that storm is moving into Oakland. Our newest statement up here in Huron County for 50-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail. That is very close to severe. And lastly, we got a complex of storms up here in Alcona County that also is statemented for 40-mile-per-hour winds only. And more cells continue to fire up. So no warnings right now in the state of Michigan, but 5 statements, 5 different strong storms ongoing across the state. Still exhibiting some very, very weak rotation here in southeast Calhoun County. Continuing to watch where those reds and greens are somewhat close together. Still a little duller in terms of what we would want to see for stronger rotation, but that's a good sign. Not really much of a concern right now from the Indiana radar. It doesn't look like a whole lot, so we're going to hope that is just mixing around in the upper levels of the atmosphere at the current time, but we'll see. It does appear that it's at least a rotating meso, so we'll keep an eye on it. I am honestly very surprised there's no more statements coming in yet, or even a warning here for the Genesee County, Livingston, Oakland region. It's starting to get gustier and gustier, or at least I would say at least an extension of these statements.
Talk about a warning, but a statement at least, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see anything that's close to 60-mile-an-hour winds, but it is gusty to regardless. I'm still looking at that cell up in Huron County for some larger hail, perhaps. It looks like the core is still very healthy. About 20,000 feet, I got 55 dBz, so not overly strong, but enough to produce perhaps some pea-sized hail in that location.
New cell popping up down there north of Toledo as well in Monroe County. Kind of out of the blue, heading into Luna Pier. No statement on that, but a nice torrential downpour likely ongoing. Heads up in the Temperance and Luna Pier area.
Yeah, a bit of a downburst there via the airport radar. I'm not sure if you looked at it or not, but there's a little bit of a downburst there.
There you go. You are live.
Oh, yeah, this is a very weak downburst by the Erie Township area heading towards Luna Pier. That becomes stronger, will likely be over Lake Erie. Just bouncing around here, all these storms.
Mm-hmm.
Still nice hail core up there, just north of Minden, east of Ubly. Nice CC on that too with the hail core.
And that hail core is statemented for half-inch hail possible, in addition to the 50-mile-per-hour winds. If any of those cells out there are going to go warned right now, likely for Huron County. Other storms may be an extension of the statement. Also, over here on YouTube, Natalie with a 199 super chat saying you guys are the best. Thanks for all that you do. With the heart emoji. No problem, Natalie. Appreciate the support. And thank you for tuning in today. Hope you're staying safe out there. Looks like it's pronounced Ubly. According to chat. Ryan's looking it up.
You know it.
What's the verdict?
Loading. I don't have the pronunciation guide pulled up yet. Give it 1 second. It takes a little bit of time to load for some reason, but it eventually does load. There it is. All right. Go to you. And the verdict is
Ooh.
Ubly.
Ubly, yeah.
Ubly.
Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and take my radar back here. Ortonville looks a little gusty right now. Again, still probably winds of maybe 30 or 40 miles per hour. I will say that as soon as those boundaries collided, Ryan, look what's happening. We have a cell that just exploded on that boundary. And
I don't like how that looks either.
I was just about to say that. So that cell is basically sitting / moving slightly north, and you have a cell that was blowing across Shiawassee County at a good clip here with those outflow winds. Again, when those two storms collide like that, funky things can happen, so we'll keep an eye on it here in the next couple scans. Likely, if there are going to be anything, you can see a region of red, region of green, still pretty far apart, but as those get closer together, rotation is possible to be right over Byron, maybe on the east side of Byron, right over Rolston Road. So we'll keep an eye on the Rolston Road area to the east of Byron, west of Linden, as these two storms collide in the next couple minutes. Again, those boundaries, you can see right... Actually, Brian, you could probably draw on your map. It's probably easier. Those boundaries colliding.
I don't even see the boundaries on mine.
Really?
Well, okay, well, there's one.
Yep.
You can see that one briefly. And then...
Oh, you need more frames.
Yeah, I don't really have much of any view on this.
I saw it.
You're looking like right here.
Yep. Yeah, right there. Right there. Yep. Boom.
Yep. This reminds me, I don't want to say it this way, but this whole look on radar reminds me of what the Rockwood tornado did back in 2023 before that spun up. Like, you know, got a supercell moving down this way, you got a cell moving up this way, bam. It looks almost identical to how that kind of first played out. But again, we have no shear today, whereas back in 2023 we did have shear. So we'll see what happens here with these two cells as they merge. Most of the time when cells merge, nothing happens, but sometimes they do.
Never say never, though.
Yeah.
Latest scan has come in. Still not that concerning at the current time. That's good. We're watching it. Ortonville just looks gusty at the current time. No rotation there. This cell continues to train over portions of southern Huron County. You're right, Ryan. This might turn into somewhat of a flooding risk for Ubly.
Yeah, it's just nonstop training over the same areas.
Yeah. We do got a big statement coming in.
Oakland County, as well as it appears to be the northern part of Livingston and the southern part of Genesee and the southeast part of Lapeer. And also the southwest part of Lapeer, southeast part of Shiawassee. Wind gust up to 50 is the hazard there.
And put your screen up.
Yep, big blue box that's blinking on your screen. That's your new statement. So, Grand Blanc, Oxford Township, Waterford Township, West Bloomfield, Troy, Rochester Hills, Orion Township, Tyrone Township, Fowlerville, Cohocton, Linden, Holly, Fenton, Ortonville. I think I already said that. All within that statement. 50-mile-per-hour winds, and the hail is... It's not for hail, so no hail with that. just some winds. We do have the Lake Orion camera, which will have a view as these storms cross over it. It faces to the southwest, so it'll be looking this way. So as these storms move this way, we'll have a view of this very, very soon. In fact, let's go ahead and take the Lake Orion camera here and see what we got. Go ahead and pull that up. Perfect. Not too much going on yet, but I bet you have a view here pretty soon.
Yeah, the cell from the Grand Rapids radar that is in the Durand Byron area does have an elevated meso on it. You can see the reds and greens that are next to each other. That just goes to show you that this entire storm is a mesocyclone, so it's all just rotating in one big direction. Doesn't mean it's happening at the surface, but that usually is a sign of a semi-powerful storm that could be producing or soon to be producing severe winds, maybe severe hail. And you never know; you could never truly rule out the tornado threat. So we'll keep an eye on it. Still waiting for a new scan. We'll have a new one about a minute from now. These 4-minute scans, you're right, are a little tricky. We're going to go ahead and go back south. Go switch back over to the Grand Rapids radar real quick. Take a look at these storms down here. Still a very strong thunderstorm in the Homer area. Just a lot of downpours ongoing. Albion, Homer, up towards Marshall. Adding on to the rain that has fallen overnight, could be some more oversaturation ongoing. And this cell down here near Colon does have a statement on it for 40-mile-per-hour winds, pea-sized hail. This continues off towards Branch County and Coldwater in the hour or hour and a half to come.
I'm going to switch my screen from radar to the camera.
Okay. You're not live yet, so just let me know.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the next scan to pop in before I actually change my screen. But I can do that real quick. Yeah, latest scan, that Linden cell, the merger, not much going on there. Camera is live if you want to take it. It's Lake Orion camera.
There we go.
Via the Storm Guard HQ there, facing southwest. You're going to see storms move in from the right side of the screen here. We're looking parallel into them, so it's going to be a nice view, I have to imagine. So we'll be watching this very closely as we get through the next couple of minutes as these storms push their way south and east.
Any other cams to show, Ryan?
We can cycle through these. Let's go ahead and do it one by one here. Just go ahead and see what's around Michigan. We got Manistee North. And we got the Manistee West camera as well. Beautiful day out there. Water temperatures are warming up there enough to swim. We got the Burton camera there and Guardian HQ facing south. Got a nice view of the storms there. Got some water on the lens, it looks like, so a little bit of a distortion there. Still a nice view. We got the Charlotte Fire Department facing to the northwest there. Got some towers going up there. Got some more storms popping to the west there. Also, we have the newest camera, the Mirestone Ranch in Chelsea. We got Dearborn camera facing northwest there, nice and sunny in the Detroit area. And then good old Harbor Beach there at the marina in Harbor Beach. Then we got the Old Stone Porch in Ionia facing west there. Got a nice sunny sky. And then back to the Storm Guard camera. We do have more cameras coming very soon. We have multiple locations that we have coming the next couple of days and weeks. So stick around. We'll have a lot more cameras to use at a later date. And as always, thank you to our camera sponsors, as well as Guardian Technologies response from these cameras and also help with installs. Appreciate you guys. Want to say, Joel, over by Ortonville looks pretty gusty on the latest scan.
Yeah. The entire storm is just pushing, which is good news. That there's a statement on it now that was extended. Let's get Nancy on it, and now we have it. So currently no warnings in effect right now, just a couple special weather statements across the state. The one for Alcona has expired. The one for Ingham earlier has expired as well. Just have a couple statements out there for Livingston, Genesee, Oakland, also portions of St. Joseph and Branch, and up there in Huron and extreme northern Sanilac County. Not sure why warnings sirens are sounding again, unless officials in the area are seeing something that we can't see on radar. Again, sirens do not get sounded by the National Weather Service offices. They are also your last mode of receiving warning, as they are only meant to be heard outdoors, not indoors. If you do hear them indoors, we usually say it's just a bonus. But they are only for outdoor usage only. And they are also very inconsistent. Again, not sounded by the National Weather Service offices. As you can see, there are no warnings in Huron County right now, but the sirens are going off. So either they're seeing something in person that we can't see on radar, or it is a delayed report of some sort. But again, no warnings in effect right now in Huron County. It seems like they're going off county-wide in Huron County, which is very interesting. And we're hearing all about it here in the comments right now. There's no warnings in Huron County at the current time. Just a special weather statement. The tan box on your screen is the special weather statement. That is basically a step below severe. But on occasion, certain cities, certain townships, certain counties even do like to sound their sirens for things that they see in the sky that they think are maybe a funnel cloud, maybe a tornado, maybe just damaging winds. We don't know.
I was gonna say, Joel, maybe another phone cloud being spotted up there has activated sirens in the
Yep.
area. So I wonder if that is the case, if that could support NWS. We have another warning incoming here soon. But again, that's a speculation. We don't know that for sure.
And it goes to show you that sirens are very inconsistent based on the county, city, township you live in.
Yeah, that cell continues to drain over the exact same areas for the last hour or so. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a few inches of rain here that's fallen in that southern part of Huron County, close to the Sanilac County line. It's just been nonstop draining over the exact same areas.
Looks like our storm has officially interacted with itself, and it does not appear that anything funky has happened. So good news there for the Byron and Linden area. Still keep an eye on it though. Gusty winds continue, perhaps upwards of 50 miles per hour if you live anywhere in this tan box on your screen. That is mainly north central Livingston County and north central Oakland County, as well as far southern Genesee and the southwest sliver of Lapeer County.
I have some reports in chat here, perhaps another funnel cloud in Huron County. Unconfirmed though. I'm not sure if we're getting old reports getting sent in to people who just heard from sources, or this is a new one. So perhaps a second funnel cloud being spotted up there in Huron County.
No way this second storm has kind of caught up to the first storm. It is possible that could be some funky interactions going on similar to what we had down just previously in Shiawassee County. Again, storms collide with each other, allows the winds to kind of shift around a little bit and spin up these different little vorticity couplets. Again, with how much spin we also have that is just kind of sitting in the thumb as well due to the natural features in the thumb region. It is possible that we could see more funnel clouds occurring here right now.
These boundaries can make some weird things happen.
Have we ever studied the Flint Beecher tornado back in 1953? Yes, we do have I do believe we have the documentary out, right, Ryan?
Yeah, we have a documentary out on that a few weeks ago, actually. Caleb put that together.
Yeah. So if you're subscribed to us for free here on YouTube, feel free to go ahead and watch that on your own time. It is there. Scroll back in one of our recent videos, or a couple weeks ago, probably. You have to scroll down probably just a little bit, but it is there. Caleb put that together. It was very well done. Zoom back out once again. Loop the radar. Started to break apart just a little bit. I say, do we need to put a heads up out for Huron County, or do you think it's okay up there as it stands?
Say what?
For Huron County, do you think it's worth a post, or?
I'm not going to post till I have anything confirmed.
Okay.
I'm not going to post speculation.
Okay.
I'm looking in chat, looking at messages, trying to figure out if we have another thing going on or if it's the old stuff. So I haven't been able to confirm anything.
Yep. Main hazards out there today, once again, going to be the hail of 1 inch in diameter and perhaps winds of 60 miles per hour. And an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. The odds of a tornado happening are less than 1%. But as we've seen so far today, the only warning that was issued was a tornado warning. Wadsworth and 53, according to chat here. I don't know if you want to.
That's the second time that I've heard M53 or 53 being thrown out there. I will say new flood advisory coming in now for that Huron County area. Minor flooding due to 1 to 2 inches of rain. I wouldn't be shocked if there's higher amounts than that in there. It's been raining nonstop for almost an hour and a half there. So likely at least an inch or two. You find that spot they're talking about?
Yeah, I was trying to. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, if you guys are seeing a funnel cloud in Huron County, please let your either your non-emergency line know or report that to NWS so they know as well. Because I don't have any information or anything like that to pass along that I can confirm with certainty. So if you guys are seeing something out there that we're not seeing, please either send a picture to us so we can relay that, or call yourself. NWS would be Detroit for Huron County. Looks like some Mattis on the Harbor Beach cam.
Makes sense. I saw that on my way back from Detroit today.
Back to the Storm Guard camera here. It's gonna be the next camera up with a view of a storm, I believe. So nothing severe out there currently. Current time is 5:33 p.m. I'm Ryan alongside Joel. Michigan Storm Chasers here. We're live for any and all severe and or tornado warnings in the state. We had the earlier warning up in Huron County that was prompted by a funnel cloud. And now, since then, we have been pretty quiet out there, minus the ongoing storms that have been sub-severe.
You said it.
There is potential for us to no longer stay quiet. We may turn into a more active evening this evening, but again, it all depends on what these storms are going to do. Right now, everything out there looks sub-severe, so I think we're on a good trend so far. Let's hope we stay quiet.
If you're just joining us, feel free to hit that like button. And if you're following us on YouTube or Facebook, hit that subscribe or follow button as well. If you're a Michigander and you haven't followed yet, and we do this all the time, we just hit our 3-year anniversary, right, Ryan?
Not yet. For 3 years will be the 22nd of the month.
Gotcha. So still a little bit of ways.
We're close, but not quite there. Believe, I'll double check that real quick. If you go to our Facebook page, click the About info, it should stay like a page creation date, and I'm pretty sure it says July 22nd. Sorry, I was wrong. It's July 27th. I was close. So we are about 18 days away from that.
New statement coming
We'll have
in
to do some
here.
giveaways, Joel.
Yeah.
Giveaways for our anniversary.
Yep. I also believe you mentioned something about if we hit 500,000 on Facebook, there's also a giveaway happening at some point.
Yep.
A big one.
Because I think a 500,000 followers is a ginormous milestone. So we would be, it'd be pretty selfish to not give away some stuff.
Real quick, Ryan, I'm gonna send you a video I just got. I don't know if you've had this yet, but it's going in our main chat.
Yep, got it.
Someone just tagged us in it. It's a video of that funnel cloud earlier. So feel free to reach out to him if need be.
Yep. Currently trying to figure out if there's any damage in Huron County, so that's going to be the priority, seeing if we have any reports of touchdown or any indication that we had a on-the-ground tornado earlier.
We have a new statement coming in, by the way, real quick, for Alcona, southwest Alcona and Iosco County. 5:33, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Glenny, or Glen, if it's silent, moving southeast at 10 miles per hour. It hazarded our wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and half-inch hail. This storm literally just popped up within like the last 10 minutes here. Its radar indicated gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. Locations impacted include Glenny, Plainfield Township in this portion of the state, and Sidtown. And this is northeast Michigan. The new special weather statement that has just come in. As a reminder, special weather statements are for strong thunderstorms, not severe thunderstorms. So it's kind of like an extra heads up that this storm can be dangerous if you are caught outside in it. Continuing into the southeast Michigan region, still many pockets of gusty winds here in this statemented area for Oakland County, as well as southern Genesee moving into northern Livingston. Anywhere you see these brighter greens on radar, those are your gusts probably around 40-ish miles per hour. The statement's in effect for 50, but at the current time it looks like it's kind of gusting itself out just a little bit.
It was kind of funny for those of you still watching us. I was on here with Caleb and Joel for about, what was it, like an hour and a half, 2 hours on your drive home, Joel?
Uh-huh.
And we were all having a good time. And I was joking with Joel on his way, like, yeah, you get home, I can pop off and do my own thing now. And literally, as soon as Joel pulled into his home and went inside, we started playing a mini game to pass the time. And I lost track of the radar because there's nothing really concerning happening. And then Joel pops down, and the next thing I hear is tornado warning.
I literally looked at the screen because like I literally just pulled up our I'm not even joking. I opened the software, so I thought like the software was glitching out when it popped up the notification for the tornado warning. I'm like, Huron County.
Is that real?
Okay, guess we're going live as soon as I sit down. So it was literally two seconds sitting down. It was there. So it was crazy, but we're on top of it. At least I was.
Yeah, he was. I was busy trying to beat Caleb in mini golf, so
Yeah,
that was a little bit of a surprise, for sure.
It's just weird the timing because I was in Detroit all day today, and the second I get home, like literally the second, because I was planning on hosting. Literally the second I walk in, turn on the software, it goes tornado warn. So you couldn't time it any perfect than that. If I would have been like 30 seconds slower, then you probably would be hosting.
Yep. And the funny thing was, I was eating at the time too.
There you go.
And that's the running joke here at MSC. If one of us sits down to eat, something's going warned or something weird's going to happen with the weather. It just never fails. So, also going back to radar here, it looks like that gusty area of some wind perhaps in Oakland County. In fact, look at the latest scan, Joel, just north of the radar, perhaps a little bit of an appendage there on that cell. This is going to be near the Orion Township area, just north of Independence. Yeah, that area. That's actually going to pass very close to Lake Orion camera here. In fact, the leading edge of that storm is now creeping into the right side of the image here. So we have a nice view. Again, this is in Lake Orion at StormGuard HQ. StormGuard is a sponsor of ours. They do roofing construction in the Detroit metro area. This is facing to the south and west. So looking down the building would be due south. The cell phone tower there is about southwest, and the trees to the right side would be more of a westerly northwest view. So this is going to have a good view as the storm passes very close to the camera. We'll have to keep an eye on this camera closely. Radar indicating winds right around, highest I have is 38 miles per hour, but the latest scan did kind of push it out some, so we may have a little bit more of an increase here as it moves toward the camera.
If you focus really close, you can kind of see it move.
Hey, Joel.
Yes.
We have a new SWS incoming here for Huron County and the very far northern part of Sanilac. It is land spout possible statement.
Ooh.
So, land spout possible. Again, this is going to be wind gusts up to 50 and land spouts. Source, trained weather spotters reporting another funnel cloud. So
there.
we have, once again, confirmation from the NWS that we have additional funnel clouds and perhaps even land spouts possible up there in Huron County in the very far extreme northern part of Sanilac County. I'm going to get a post out visual. Go ahead and take over.
Yep. So we're looking right. It's either going to be. It could be in two spots. So either side of Ubley, you have the left side here. So anywhere we see these kind of the reds and greens on the edge, the very edge of the storm. You have one spot right here, about 2 miles to the west of town, maybe 3 miles west of town. And you also have on the east side of town, which looks a little stronger, at least from this height. Again, this is about 6,000 feet up in the atmosphere. And again, that latest scan continues to increase that. Ryan, I would imagine maybe a tornado warning coming again soon as this continues to hook back. You can see the reds and greens very close to each other right here. This is going to be about 4 miles outside of Ubley, heading towards Minden City. It's about 3 or 4 miles away. So it's halfway between both of those towns in the vicinity of, let's see what's out here. We got McDonald Road at Huron Line Road East. So really right on that county line. Land spout possible 50-mile-per-hour winds. If you are in the Minden City, Ubley area, please be taking shelter for a possible land spout. Land spouts are usually not too dangerous, but they can cause EF0 type damage. So that would be about 60 to 80 mile per hour wind. So it will ruffle your feathers, I will say, if you do end up standing in one of those. So please don't be outside.
Take shelter regardless.
Yeah, take shelter regardless. It might be weak, but it can toss you around like a haystack. So please take shelter. we're not allowed to eat anymore. Guess
Well,
we'll,
Joel, I'm hungry, so I'll be right back.
guess we'll starve. Usually it's, I mean, off topic a little bit, but I think anytime I've ordered food, usually we've done this a couple times during the live stream where the stream pays for DoorDash, and usually that doesn't trigger warnings. I think it's when you go and make food yourself it works. So I think the solution is, I think, Ryan, you just got to order DoorDash all the time.
Order DoorDash? Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see about that. I'll open the asset radar here. Not much to talk about.
Yeah, how does Cassett look?
Not impressive at all. Detroit looks a little bit better.
Gotcha.
The Lake Orion camera is going to have likely some gusty winds passing over it in the next 10 or so minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the bulk of the winds are now moving just north of I-75 near Independence.
One of our Chaser Partner Network members, Clayton, is telling me behind the scenes that he just got food. So
Uh-oh.
we're blaming it on him.
Does it
Happens.
apply to our CPNs or only to the staff here, like Joel, myself, Caleb?
I don't know. Guess
I
we'll
don't
find
think
out.
Chandler has Nick or Chandler ever triggered something?
No idea.
I don't think they have. That's just a running joke anyway, but it's funny how it all works out. Are those storms down by me? I want a storm.
There's a couple cells. Just watching them. Very, very just weak. I'd call them kind of transient supercells, kind of, sort of. They do have the kidney bean shape to them, obviously, but there's not a whole lot of fast inflow into these storms right now that I'm seeing. I don't know if you're seeing differently.
Not really seeing anything differently. I will say the storm that's heading toward the storm guard camera, lightning increase, very much so in the past about 5 or 10 minutes. So perhaps either a strengthening or perhaps a weakening downburst going to go on here with this cell. Usually an uptick in lightning indicates the storm is either gaining strength or losing strength rapidly. So we'll see what that, what and if that entails anything here in the next couple of minutes. That storm up there in the Ubly and the Minden City area continues to look a little spinny, a little bit of a spin there. So that's going to be one worth watching. Again, there is a statement in effect for potential land spouts, which technically are weak tornadoes. So again, take that seriously. It's not a tornado warning. Land spouts are generally much weaker, winds 60 to 80 or so miles per hour. It can reach very weak EF0 status, but overall, the area of interest would be just west, a little bit north of Minden City. Thank you, Joshua, for the super chat. And yes, thank you, moderators here in chat. We got multiple in there today. Appreciate their work, what they do for us here, both on Facebook and on the YouTube side. I'm not sure who's all on there, but we have our usuals. You got Dawn, you got Julie, Hadley, we got Sarah and Brandy on there as well, as my dad's on there too. He's on the YouTube side of things, so I appreciate it.
Justin's in here as well.
Justin's in there. We have a whole team of moderators here, so appreciate their work and everything they do for us behind the scenes to keep chat free of spam and an enjoyable place for you guys to hang out.
Absolutely. Thank you, mods.
Also, I want to mention that the storm up by the Ubly area continues to dump rain over the flood advisory areas. So I have to imagine the fields and the ditches up there are going to be swollen very quickly if they're not already in the southeastern part of Huron County. It's just been nonstop raining for, what has this been, like almost two and a half hours now? I'll go back and see if I can load the radar and just kind of loop this real quick. So just out of curiosity, how long it's been raining up there. Because we've been live for what, about an hour and a half now? And it's been raining up there at least that long. So I have rain starting right around 3:30-ish for that area. This has been nonstop since about 2 hours worth of rainfall up there between Ubley over toward Forestville, White Rock, and Helena areas. Ruth, Parisville, and Pulowski also involved with those with that area.
I think any rotation at this time might be moving into extreme northern Sanilac County.
Yeah, the latest scan off Cassett does have a tiny speck of rotation that is moving more so toward Peteville and Minden areas. This can be just across the county line in Sanilac. All right, Joel, I'm going to eat some food, so I'll be back.
You're not joking, are you?
I'm not. Also, some cool clouds coming into view on the Lake Orion camera.
Yep.
I'll be back.
Okay. Current time right now, 5:49. About to change to 5:50. If you're watching within 30 seconds, you guys are caught up. If not, feel free to refresh the stream. And when you come back in, or if you are right now watching currently, make sure to hit that like button. Again, the like button is the best way to support operations at Michigan Storm Chasers, and it helps bump this live stream into the feeds of other fellow Michiganders that might need severe weather coverage this afternoon, which right now, speaking of severe, we don't have any severe out there at the current moment. We are watching a couple strong storms right now across the state, including one which has a special weather statement in the thumb for a possible land spout. And again, this is going to be very close to Minden City right now. So again, hit that like button. If you have friends and family across Southeast Michigan tonight as well, hit that share button, mind you, and share it with your friends and family. Cells also popping up down in Calhoun and Branch, St. Joseph, and Hillsdale County. These right now are not severe. A couple gusty winds also mixing into the pockets, as you can see on your velocity product there. There's a couple brighter greens mixing in, but overall, right now, still very sub-severe. There is some gusts moving through the Clarkston area at the current time, but it is also very, very close to the radar, so it's tough to tell exactly whether or not that's completely dying itself out. Will it revitalize itself as it heads towards Pontiac and Rochester Hills? We'll see. Ryan's cam from the Storm Guard cam there in Lake Orion shows a nice tubular structure there. Yeah, it looks like a lot of turbulence, somewhat out there today. But in terms of shear overall, there's just a lot of speed shear. So these clouds are kind of just racing off in one direction and not both. But yeah, we are watching this cell right now primarily in the Minden City area, which is showing some weak rotation, possible land spout in the Minden City area, pretty close to town. So if you are in Minden City, please be taking shelter away from exterior walls at the current time. It is Michiganders. It is not Michiganians. I've never heard that term before. We also have one special weather statement still in effect up here in northern Michigan, northeast lower. A cell that is pretty much traveling right down M65 right now in the vicinity of Bissonnet Road. About to bypass Hale, H-A-L-E, not H-A-I-L, on the east side of town, unless it hooks onto the boundary and continues to move further west. At the current time, it looks like it's going to move just past Hale. We do have storm chasers. We have about 30 of them actually on our team, and none of them are currently available. Again, it is basically a lot of them are working right now today. On occasion, we also do storm chase. But most of us, so I'm the chief meteorologist, so I'll usually be in the studio 9 out of 10 times. unless I'm coming back from somewhere, which I almost went in storm chase today on my way back from Detroit. But I'm here hosting instead, and we have also Ryan, the president of MSC, in the background today as well. He also chases on occasion when he is able to do so. So if you are a native Michigander, you're living here, or if you're just visiting, if you're visiting Michigan for the week, the day, we know we have a lot of outer-staters, especially here in July. It's our biggest tourism month. If you know any tourists in Michigan, feel free to share the stream with them. Again, we have severe weather today, possible across eastern Michigan. We also have chances for strong, maybe severe storms as we head into Saturday. Still kind of unsure about it as of right now. At the very least, could be some strong storms, kind of similar to what we're seeing out there today. So prepare accordingly for Saturday. If you know anyone coming in for the weekend, good idea to share our page with those family, friend members, or just longtime friends that might be visiting for a vacation. We are now down to about 2 special weather statements. At the current time, the winds have pretty much gusted themselves out across Oakland County. Thunderstorms continue, but they look to be more of the garden variety type. So winds not even strong, probably underneath 30 miles per hour as that heads into Oakland County. All these cells down here heading towards the Indiana-Ohio state line, with the exception of maybe between Colon and Burr Oak, also looking like the winds are underneath 30 miles per hour for all of these. We'll keep an eye on the Colon storm, but right now has a little bit of an outflow boundary on the edge of it. But that is not strong at the current time. Sorry, there's 3 special weather statements in effect. The one for Iosco and Elkona also still in effect. That one's in effect up there until 6 o'clock, so that's got 5 more minutes. The possible land spout is in effect till 6:30 here across the Minden City region, which is now the rotation is pretty much in Minden City. It's about a mile outside of town on Bay City Forestville Road and Parisville Road, that intersection there. It's about a mile and a half outside of Minden City for that rotation. The bigger box is going to expire at 6. What's up?
Take my radar.
You still have your
Hold on. Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
live cam up.
Try now.
Sir.
Are you serious? I got it. I got it. Jeez.
It's in the wrong spot.
No. Now it's up.
Yep, there it is.
There is your area of interest for some rotation up there near Minden via the Cassett radar, which is a Canadian radar. Better look at this storm than Detroit's radar. It's a lower beam height. And it's a very clear indication of some rotation due west of Minden as of 5:53 p.m. The unfortunate part of this is it updates every 7 to 8 minutes. So next update will be close to 6 o'clock. So we have to wait 3 minutes or so for the next scan to load in. But yes, this is going to be crossing over near Peteville, Minden. It's basically over Bay City Forestville Road and crossroad around Polk Road. I guess what it said? Yeah, Polk Road.
Polk Road, as well as the next road over would be Parisville Road. So about 2 miles to a mile outside of Minden, still kind of trickling towards Minden right now. It's interesting. Your radar says Minden, and mine says Minden City.
Maybe a township, Minden Township, but it is a little bit of a city here. I can zoom in. There's actually 30 houses or so, 40 houses.
It looks a lot more than that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably close to 50.
More than that. You missed
really?
on the right
Oh,
side. Look at the right side of town.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry, we're
5,
we're
6,
we're kind of
7,
looking
8,
at
9,
Minden
10.
right now. If you're watching from Minden, we're pointing out your house essentially. If you're in Minden, watch out for that land spout. But yeah.
Why don't you just Google the population of Minden?
So hello, Minden City. We have a Twitch chat here saying it's Minden City.
It is Minden City. 182 people live there. I'm going to ask how many houses are there.
For direction, it is generally off to the east, and it's moving at 10 miles per hour. So it's just crawling along right now. And you can also see on the screen there in the light green, which is in Huron County, that is a flood advisory. Storms have trekked over these same areas in the last 2 hours, I would say now, because we started about already an hour and 37 minutes ago, and there were storms already existing before we went live there. So yeah, about 2 or 3 hours worth of rain consistently. It'll do that. We do have one viewer from Minden City. Hi, Scott. Minden City gets a personal shout out on our stream because they're very close to a possible land spout right now.
I'm going to guess Scott lives right here. Okay, just kidding. There are apparently 102 housing units in this Minden City, so I was way off. Also, what is going on in the Storm Guard camera here? Because I thought we are going to have a good view on this, and now it's moving too slow, or what's going on?
It really fell apart, honestly. I think it gusted itself.
Wow.
It really fell apart.
Wow. That is crazy.
It's like I hit a wall and just crashed straight down.
Yeah, it's like a storm shield bubble. I don't know. That's weird. I will say as well, the Cassett radar does have an elevated meso and has had one for this cell. Past couple of scans just south of Grand Blanc here. Yeah, it's had an interesting look to it for the past couple of scans just near Linden. But low level scan, obviously not much there going on. But upper levels, spinning just a bit. Anyway, it's time for me to eat, so.
Okay. Which is interesting you do that, Ryan, because it looks like the rotation from at least the Detroit radar continues to show
Stop it.
at least some not weakening and not strengthening, kind of just sustained rotation near Minden City. And again, this is just sitting in 2 miles outside of town. It really is not moving at all. So if you're in Minden City, look to your west, you might just see a land spout that might not be moving. It might be just sitting in place, which is definitely a possibility on a day like today where there's basically no shear at the lower levels, bringing these storms, carrying them off to the east. We also had a new statement come in, I believe, for Iosco County just a couple minutes ago. We do. It's a continuation. That previous statement has expired. Wind gusts continue in the M65 region. M65 near Greenwood Road and River Road. And those run south into rural Iosco County towards Tawas City. So they'll be heading that way. Central Iosco County in the near future. You can see it's a nice core on it. The heavier the rain, the hotter the colors. So good downpour, probably some good thunder and lightning as well happening in Iosco County in the M65 region as that continues off to the southeast at 10 miles per hour. 40 mile per hour winds is the main hazard, by the way, and Plainfield Township and Sidtown are the only cities impacted by that special weather statement. So still 3 special weather statements out there. I'm not going to say it, but you know the word I'm trying to say here. It's a blank one out there right now with only 3 statements. You guys can fill in the blank. We'll hopefully keep it that way. Maybe get Ryan just turned on his cam for a split second to give me a glare, but he's the one that keeps saying the word, so don't know what he's doing. But we got 3 statements still in effect out there. The one in Oakland and Livingston in effect until 6:15, so we got 12 minutes on that. Land spout possible, 50-mile-per-hour winds until 6:30 for Huron and extreme northern Sanilac County, and Iosco is in effect until 6:30 as well. So in the matter of the next half hour, we could see all of these statements kind of fizzle out. Let's hope it continues to fizzle out that way. But again, strong storms continue across eastern and southeastern Michigan, as well as even up here in Iosco County, northeast lower, this afternoon and evening. Wind-wise, look at the velocity product. Go ahead and zoom back up to our Minden City cell. That rotation still is sitting there in the vicinity of Charleston Road and Polk Road and Bay City Forestville Road as well. Again, just sitting on the west side of town. So if you are in the area, look to the skies west of Minden City and southwest of Minden City and let us know what you're seeing if it is safe to do so. Bottom of the screen shows all of the statements currently in effect. You can see all the counties that do have a partial statement in them and the time they're issued until. So that is there for your viewing pleasure, I guess you could say. So if you're ever wondering if your county is in any sort of alert, they will always be scrolling at the bottom of the screen down there on that side. Underneath on that bottom bar, so you can see Iosco until 6:30, and you have, I believe, Oakland, that big complex down there, the big statement, Shiawassee, Livingston, Genesee, Lapeer, Oakland County till 6:15. It's only partial counties. And then obviously you have Huron and Sanilac until 6:30. All of those warnings will always be circling down there, as well as the highest active alert will always show on the top bar. So earlier we had that tornado warning in effect. The tornado warning was the highest active alert. No tornado warnings at the current time. No red boxes out there, so good news there. And the current time is now turning 6:06 p.m. on this Wednesday evening, July 9th, 2025. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma here with Ryan, who is eating behind the scenes. And we're waiting to see if any more alerts get issued. You got something to say?
It is quiet out there, Joel.
He said it. It's tempting fate right now.
Honestly, though, if we're being truthful, aside from that Huron County area where Joel's talking about and looking at right now, if that storm didn't exist, I'd probably be okay hopping out of here.
I would say so
Truthfully.
too. And the good news is I don't believe there's any cells besides this one. It's in Iosco County. Hopefully forming again in Huron County. They don't need any more rain. It looks like they've already got enough for today.
Yep.
And again, with how much vorticity and surface instability that's out there in the thumb region, we really want storms to stay away from this area so we don't get any more tornado warnings. So once this cell, if it can ever move onto Lake Huron, and again it's moving east at 10 miles per hour, you might as well just sit down and wait for 60 to 90 minutes. If it ever moves onto Lake Huron, we'll be able to hop off, but we're going to be waiting for a little bit as this storm is doing what it's called a right turn and continuing straight south down the edge of the thumb. So it's going to stay over land for a while and likely head towards Deckerville, maybe in Port Sanilac if it continues south-southeast.
Good news, though, is it's moving pretty slow, so if it gets to those spots, it'll take quite a while before it does.
Yeah.
Check on the Cassett radar here. And even the Cassett radar is not very tight. It's a little bit of a rotational signature there, but definitely not something to be concerned about at this point, via radar at least. Of course, we say that, but radar, this beam height is like 5,000 feet. So what's below 5,000 feet, we're not seeing. And most land spouts are very shallow rooted. So we're not going to see that on radar, period. We're relying more so on viewer reports. Speaking of viewer reports, I'm going to check the inbox here, make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah. We got Cody in here, Ryan, from IWN.
What's up, Cody? Good to see you in here.
He's asking if there was a tornado in Ruth earlier.
So we had, at this point, we know there was a funnel cloud that's about halfway, perhaps 3/4 of the way to the ground. We have not been able to confirm any ground contact with that. So at this point in time, it's just a funnel cloud, excuse me, near the Ruth area. Cody is one of our storm hunters down in the Indiana side of things. He's on our team. So thank you, Cody, for popping in here. Good to see you.
Gotta get some water. Also, wearing the MSC merch shirt today.
Plug it.
Yep. Helicity.co is the name of our merch store. HELICITY.co.
Guess what, Joel?
That's changing.
That is changing very, very soon. Stay tuned for some merchandise announcements coming into your near future. Wow, I can't talk.
In the meantime, though,
Do you ever talk and like your throat like closes and scratch at the same time? It just is awkward. That just happened to me. Anyway, yes, stay tuned. We have some cool announcements coming with our merchandise, so stay tuned for that.
but for the time being, they can still go to Helicity.
Yes.
Okay. There you go. So circling on your screen right now is that possible land spout. It is now just shifted to the south of Minden City, so it's on the move, potentially, if it's still there. Again, if you guys have any views on it, feel free to send it to us. You can send it in our messenger. Make sure if I will say this, that's something I don't usually mention here, but if it's not your photo, if it's from someone else, please source where you got it from, so that way we can reach out to the original person. And again, a time location is going to be the best way to submit a report to us. Again, you don't have to send it directly to us. We do appreciate it. Otherwise, you can send it in our community group page, Michigan Weather Reports. Michigan Storm Community is our fair weather page. So if you have cool clouds you want to share, Michigan Storm Community is that page for you. Michigan Weather Reports for your damage reports. There is some potential for some hail out there today, so if you do got some hail to measure, feel free to take pictures of that and use a ruler, some sort of coin or a ball, and put it next to the hail so we know exactly what size it is in terms of that diameter. I just had mouth throw up.
We're all having issues over here. Love that. Love that.
It's already went and spoke today, so voice is already a little rusty. Josh with a $2 super chat asking, do you guys ever cover storms over the water when they're bad? On occasion we do, but not like if they go warned for special marine warnings, we won't go live for those.
If we see storms that are crossing the water about to impact land in Michigan, we'll go live while they're over the water. But it's mostly just because they're on land. We're not really marine oriented here. We do beach forecasts. We can do certain things like that, but we don't go live for severe storms over the lakes.
Yeah. See, I don't know if Nicholas is watching, but it looks like we have photos coming in from Nicholas in our messenger right now from east of Minden City.
From Nicholas? Yep. Perfect. Well, I can confirm there's no land spout there from Nicholas here in chat. Thank you, Nicholas, if you're watching this, for send that in. There is, honestly, it doesn't even look concerning for anything land spoutish. It looks pretty outflow dominant, and there's no real defined cumulus with this, so I think it's honestly seeing that. Nicholas, if you're in chat here, how long ago was this? Is this like live or is this recently? Cool. Yeah, so seeing this picture, Joel, makes me feel a whole lot better. If we want to pop out of here, I think we can do so. I don't see this being being a concern. I'll throw the picture in our chat here too, just so you can see it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look anything to be concerned about, truthfully.
Yep, just looks like a big old downpour. Which,
Yep.
you never know. There could be a landspout in there, but usually landspouts are on the edge of the storm anyways, so that would be the most likely spot where he's viewing it from right now. So I would tend to agree with you there.
Yeah.
But these statements all expire by around 6:30, either between now and 6:30. So you got another 15 minutes until these all expire, hopefully. We should be good after that, but we are still watching some cells down here in southern Michigan. They have not been strong, and they continue to not be strong. But again, with little storm action out there today so far in southern Michigan, besides obviously all the rain you guys had this morning down here. Instability-wise down there, it's probably not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and check real quick just to see. Yeah, there's still a good 2,000 surface base cave down here, and again, the threshold for severe is usually anything over 1,000, so that's double what it needs. So we'll have to watch these cells if they continue to slide a little further to the east.
Landspout versus tornado, Joel. That's a good question. You want to explain that? Let me just go ahead and preface this and say landspouts technically are tornadoes,
Yeah.
but they form differently.
Yep. I usually call both of them tornadoes anyways. They're still the same thing, but usually you tend to make landspouts be just the weaker side of things, and usually on the edge of the storms. We don't get a whole lot of them in Michigan besides out here in the thumb. But yeah, it's really just call them tornadoes either way, because at the end of the day they're going to survey it and it's going to be EFU, EF0, EF1 tornado damage anyways. Also, for those who don't know, EFU is EF undetermined. So if a tornado doesn't hit anything or a landspout doesn't hit anything, then they just put a U on it saying didn't hit anything, undetermined.
I'm going to expand on that and say that your typical tornado that is not a landspout forms from a rotating updraft, whereas landspouts don't do that. They form off like cumulus clouds and outflow boundaries, lake breeze boundaries, stuff like that. So they form differently. Tornadoes that come from rotational storms like supercells are stronger in nature. They have deep mesocyclones that rotate up thousands of feet. Landspouts are very shallow. They're not very deeply rooted, and that's why they're often weaker. So they form differently. But they are still classified and labeled as tornadoes.
Just waiting for these two storms to really wrap up here. Again, no severe weather ongoing in the state right now, other than, well, there is none, but there are strong storms ongoing. One here in Iosco County to the east of Hale, moving southeast at 10 miles per hour for 40 mile per hour winds. And our possible landspout continues with also 50 mile per hour winds for, I would imagine at this point, is now almost entirely into extreme northern Sanilac County, not as much of a Huron County threat. Huron County, though, you guys still have a flood advisory in effect for a little bit. How long is that in effect until for, Ryan?
2 hours and 12 minutes. So it puts us right around
9?
9? 9 at 8:30? 8:30?
8:30.
Right.
So 2 statements and a flood advisory. And nothing now anywhere in southeast Michigan in terms of statements.
I wanted rain today. Besides when I got this morning. I wanted a storm.
Wait, repeat what you said first.
Nothing.
Okay.
I said I wanted rain today, but I can't say that because I got rain this morning.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted a storm today.
I got you.
We'll wrap this up here, man. I really am.
Yep. Again, still watching the cell in Minden City. That's really it. Just because there is the possibility still of a landspout here, might as well just stay for until this actually goes off. Ryan, do you want to shout out our sponsors?
Do that.
You want me to do that?
Either way, I don't care.
Okay, I will go ahead and do that then. So again, we cannot do what we do here at MSC without the help from our sponsors. I was trying to give it to you because I know you don't usually get to do this. Usually it's a me thing. But I'll go ahead and read through them. Didn't know if you had a particular way of doing it. But again, we have about 12 different sponsors here at MSC that all help contribute to operation costs here for these streams to continue 24/7, 365 days a year when applicable. So starting off with our longest standing trusted partner, StormGuard, based out of North Metro Detroit. Also have Lifestyle Exteriors, based out of Central Michigan. Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Potterville. This extends from Lansing to Battle Creek. Pro Powder, based out of South Haven, for all your powder coating needs there. Tree work in Southeast Michigan, Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding. If you need any tree work in West Michigan, McKay Tree Specialist.
Back up. Mike Hayes is in Sanilac and St. Clair County.
My bad.
Roofing and siding. And then we have McKay Tree Specialist for Southeast Michigan.
I
tree
mixed
work.
the two up. Sorry. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding is Sanilac County, St. Clair. McKay Tree Specialist is Southeast Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care is West Michigan. We also have FBI Buildings for all your barn dominium needs across the Lower Peninsula. On Top Roofing, Livingston County sponsors there. Here in Lansing, we got Schneider Commercial Building Solutions for all of your commercial roofing needs, and Shield Public Adjusters for all of your insurance adjustment needs. Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, all of your exterior home needs in West Michigan. Up in Mason County, A-Class Construction and Restoration. Rainbow Restoration of West Michigan, which is located in Kent County. Our official sponsor for 2A radio communications is Rapid Radios. And finally, our provider of our Skynet, Guardian Technologies. If you need any security cameras as well, feel free to reach out to Guardian Technologies. And as always, we are looking for more camera locations, so feel free to fill out that form, which I think one of our mods can link here in our chat. So thank you, sponsors. Thank you, trusted partners. Appreciate you all very much. Ryan, is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, I can also give a shout out to our camera sponsors as well. Of course, we have Guardian, who installs it for us. They put a camera up there at their office in Burton. We also got the Charlotte Fire Department, who put a camera up for us. We got the Mirestone Ranch, our newest camera in Chelsea. Then we got the thank you to Harbor Beach Marina, the city of Harbor Beach there, for letting us put the camera there in the marina. Old Stone Porch wedding venue in Ionia. We got StormGuard, one of our sponsors, and also a camera host there in Lake Orion. And then, of course, the Hampton Inn up there in Manistee on the hotel for putting those cameras up too. So thank you to the camera sponsors as well. And as Joel mentioned, we are looking for more. Also, if you want to take, what's being shared? Is my camera being shared? Is this, nope. Hold on.
I got
The
you.
Mirestone Ranch camera has what appears to be some type of mammatus. So we're going to take a peek at that real quick. It is now shared.
Mammatus?
Looks mammatus up there.
Mm-hmm.
This is facing south and is just located east of the city of Chelsea, which is right near 94 between Jackson and Ann Arbor. We haven't really had to talk about Chelsea that often, Joel, on our streams, the city of Chelsea. I don't recall having to call that city out to take cover very much at all.
No. Ann Arbor kind of
At
has a
least
little bit, I would say Washtenaw County, not to jinx it or anything, but has had quite a bubble so far this year.
I agree with that.
Speaking of bubbles, mammatus clouds, they look like bubbles. In a way. Basically, air getting trapped up there in the upper levels of the atmosphere, bubbling down like that. It's pretty cool. It's usually a sign of strong storms either coming or they've already gone by. In this case, I believe that cloud that we're looking at in Chelsea is from the anvil that is extending all the way from the storm all the way back by Calhoun County in Homer. Again, the winds today in the lowest, I don't even know, like the lowest 3 or 4 kilometers of the atmosphere are basically still. And then once you get to about 4 or 5 kilometers up, it just skyrockets off to the west. So you can see this, it kind of shows up on radar here. The top of that storm gets absolutely sheared off very, very far to the west. And you can kind of see it extend through Jackson County, even over here towards Chelsea. And again, that's where all that air, that warm air is getting funneled over into mammatus clouds. So that is the front edge of the anvil we're seeing on Chelsea from that cell basically back there in Calhoun County on I-69. So it's pretty far away. I'm not going to read Cody's comment, but you guys can read it for yourself if you're watching on Facebook.
The very common name in the weather field to call it, but it is not PG.
Yep.
Well, we got 4 minutes left on the statement, and I think we're going to be good to pop out of here. But this storm is weakening quite drastically. I think we're good to end at any time. So
Yeah.
the storm itself is collapsing on itself, it looks like, up there, and shouldn't be an issue any further.
Takancha does, I just noticed Takancha does look a little gusty. They could throw a statement on this, but I believe this is going to still stay below severe limits. So we should be able to hop off, at least for the time being, even though there's the cell in the Takancha area. And again, for those who are in this side of the state, this cell is sliding off to the southeast, so it would be heading towards Quincy and Allen in Litchfield. But once these statements do expire here, for the Thumb and Iosco, we'll likely hop off as, again, severe weather has ended. But again, we'll be back live if severe weather does happen. We do not miss a beat when it comes to severe thunderstorm warning. So if we end up rolling the outro and 30 seconds later we get another warning, we'll be back live. So don't worry about it. We'll be here. We'll be watching in the background. We always got you guys covered from beginning to end, even if it does come in multiple segments. As a reminder, if you're a Michigander and have not followed along yet, we do this for you guys 24/7, 365 days a year. YouTube, Ryan, we are now under 1,000 away from 60K as of this stream.
I was wondering where we're at.
We're at
59,055.
55, yep. So for those who don't know, if you haven't subscribed, at every 5,000 milestone, I do a little bit of a dance. Sometimes it happens in the stream that we hit the milestone in. Sometimes it's a couple streams down the road. Either way, you all get a little bit of an impromptu dance from me. So incentive to follow or incentive to subscribe on YouTube is there. On occasion, we also do give away 30-day memberships free of charge here at MSC, and also we do have some generous donors that also give away memberships as well. So subscribe on YouTube. It is free to do as long as you have, I think, a Google account. What is the YouTube link here on Facebook? So our YouTube channel is youtube.com/@MI Storm Chasers. You could also just type in Michigan Storm Chasers on YouTube. Should be able to find us right away. We have, again, over 59,000. Ryan, I see what you did.
Saw nothing.
I see everything.
You
So we
saw
just
nothing.
we following through on our word here. We just gifted away 5 gifted memberships for those subscribers here on YouTube. So shout out to the 5 that just got gifted, courtesy of yours truly here at MSC. I should say Ryan, because he was the one that triggered it. So you guys can thank Ryan for gifting memberships on us. Oh, we're having another statement. I think we should still be good. I'm going to go ahead and just check it out real quick. Just to
I was
make
looking
sure.
at that. There's a little bit of perhaps a downburst or weak rotation in there, but from the Gaylord radar, it's not to be concerned of as of right now.
Yeah. You can see on velocity here, there's a little pocket of greens. The statement is in effect for 40-mile-per-hour winds, and they are not concerned with any sort of land spout with this storm. So good news there. Again, this is just a strong thunderstorm, not severe. So as soon as this statement expires here in 15 seconds, we'll hop off. But again, this new statement that just popped in for Iosco County is right there. It includes Tawas City and gets down towards Alabaster. Not including Alabaster, but it does get close. So Iosco County, Central Iosco County, special weather statement in effect until 7 p.m. But it is now 6:30. Our special weather statement for the land spout storm has expired, and on velocity, just like nothing there. Can you confirm from the not the Indiana, the Canada radar?
Just pull up Indianapolis radar here. I'll take a peek at it. Yeah, there's a. I mean, if you want to take me, actually, I'm probably not even sharing.
No.
So, yeah, it looks pretty weak if there's anything at all. But it's been like that for the past 10, 15 minutes. It's sharing now if you want to look at it. There's a bit of something there, but it's not really of concern. So I think we're good to pop out of here.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. On your way out, hit that like button as always. Make sure you're following us on all the platforms. Again, we go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X for all of our live severe weather coverage, as well as briefings. You all know the lowdown by now. We are MI Storm Chasers at all of our social media platforms. If you don't know, obviously, there you go. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma, alongside Ryan, right below me. We'll catch you next time here at MSC for another perhaps severe weather coverage or severe weather briefing. Take care, everyone. Have a great night, and stay safe from land spouts out there. We'll catch you next time.